Hello, once again, I am Doc Rod, and welcome to Heroes and Droids, Easter eggs, reference, and details for the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 1. Introducing your host, award-winning filmmaker, Christopher G. Moore.
Pew, pew, pew! And to go along with that, we got our co-host. We have podcasting rock star and international cosplay queen, Vanessa. How you doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
And we're gonna pull out of the Starlight Pit comic book artist Chad Hunt. How you doing, sir?
Yes.
I'm a little melty.
Melty.
Nice.
You've been slimed.
Yeah.
And this is our Easter egg episode for episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. Just remember, when you're watching this, subscribe, like, and share these episodes to let everybody know, because I'm sure, maybe you didn't catch every little thing. I scoured the YouTubes and the internet to find these things for you guys. So hopefully it's worth it. So yeah, if you like what you see, tell your friends, push those little buttons on your computer or your little phone thingy or whatever, or iPad,
phone thingy.
Or if you have Professor X abilities, do whatever you can to help get more views for these things. So this is our Easter egg episode for the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. So I'll go through those. There's probably a million, so hopefully it won't take too long. One of the more obvious things, we have the Bacta tank. You guys remember the Bacta tank from Empire Strikes Back? We got a little bit in Rogue One as well. So we get that back in there. So anytime you need healing, whether it's being hit by a bantha, is it bantha?
Lay some hands.
Wampa. If you've been hit by a wampa, or if you're slowly digested by something, you
get
might
some
need
nice,
smooth
skin.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Now, also we get some interesting flashbacks to some of their prequels. We get a flashback to Camino, which it's probably an alternate shot from one of the films when we see a little bit of Slave One up there. Also, we get a little bit of Attack of the Clones when he picks up the helmet, which is totally different. It's a more wider shot from the third of the prequels. Also, we've always talked about, when we were talking about The Mandalorian, how they reference a lot of Westerns, and when Boba is being dragged by a rope, it seems to be a callback to the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So badass. I love seeing those Tusken Raiders on screen.
And also, we have a droid, I think it's called 8D8, voiced by a certain British actor known for a thing called
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. But if you remember, he was the smelting droid in Return of the Jedi. He's the one that's torturing the Gonk droid, which in this episode he mentioned something about, hey, shouldn't we torture? So he's just trying to get in his past things that he likes to do. Also, we find out that Max Rebo made it out of Jabba's ship when it exploded, and he's got one of the guys from I think possibly the original Cantina band as well. And if you listen to the little tune they're playing, it's a little more like, guitar version,
a little jazzier, jazzed up version.
Cantina theme, which I'm sure, because it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, he probably had a little bit of hand in him going.
Cantina Unplugged.
The bar scene, the astromech droids are carrying around drinks. Carrying on drinks, just like in Return of the Jedi when R2D2 got forced into that. If you notice the coins that are thrown into Boba's helmet, they have rebellion crests on them. So, and probably in a few years, they will not be worth anything.
Spend them fast, Boba.
Certain animated shows. Also, the what I call space ninjas, the space ninjas that show up at some point, their shields have the same red energy as the shields that show up in Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan were fighting Darth Maul. Also, their electro sticks are the same ones that General Grievous's guys had when they were fighting the Jedis with lightsabers.
I didn't know that one.
let's see, of course the swoop bikes that beat up the guy outside of his home. It's very similar to a certain uncle of Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
And because at first I was like, wait a minute, this is
Yeah.
tying into that?
Me
Because
too.
there's like smoke, and I was like, we're going to see burnt bodies outside of it? No. And a lot of people online haven't figured out exactly what that group is, because they somewhat don't tie in, and they spray paint some kind of weird thing. Another Robert Rodriguez has a lot of homages in this, and I think one of them, I don't know if you guys noticed, felt like a big homage to Ray Harryhausen with the big creature that comes out of the sand. And they even made its movements very almost stop motion-y a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, the title of the episode, A Stranger in the Strange Land, is actually, even though there's a sci-fi novel by that name, it's actually a reference from the Bible, Exodus 2:22, which it references Moses. And so also when they're suiting up Boba, it's very similar to Yul Brynner being suited up.
That was so cool.
I forgot what
King and I.
Yeah.
The King and I, really?
Yeah. So when they're suiting him up and stuff, it's similar to that. So another sort of biblical reference. Let's see. Of course, even though when the Sand People show up, they're not walking behind each other. When they leave, they're all on their creatures, behind each other, just like Obi-Wan said.
To hide
they
their
do
numbers.
That to hide their numbers.
Yes.
Also, I don't know about you guys, I love the female Tusken Raider woman, which was actually played by the stunt person who's the stunt person for Brie Larson.
Oh wow!
In the Marvel films. The Trandoshan that shows up with a gift, he calls Boba Fett Diamo, which is actually given to feudal Japanese lords. So again, the Star Wars has always paid tribute to Japanese cinema, so that's another where they actually use phraseology from that. Also, the wiki pelt that he presents, if you actually watch the original trilogy films, Boba actually has part of a Wookiee pelt on his outfit. So that's a nice little reference to that.
Also, we get super messed up.
Super messed up. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, true. Also, we actually get real futuristic stuff in this feature show. Boston Dynamics robots showed up.
Oh yeah.
They kind of repurposed or redressed them.
That was so cool.
There's like 3 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, bouncing around.
Also, I think it's R3X. That's the robot that was in the Star Tours ride that is now the DJ in Oga's Cantina in
nice.
Star Wars Land. Actually shows up in the bar scene. Of course, we know that the Twilight Madam is played by Jennifer Beals, known for Flashdance.
Who doesn't look like she's aged a bit.
No.
Oh, God.
Looks fantastic.
No. And she could polish my helmet any day of the week. I'm sure they did not mean anything sexual, but hey, do we need to clean your helmet? That was about as sexual as they get in the Star Wars world. Let's see. Also, Boba Fett mentions Anchorhead. We can go to Anchorhead.
Yeah.
Which is also, Anchorhead is actually a mention from the original New Hope, when Luke says, I can take you as far as Anchorhead.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the Rodian, who I found out is actually voiced by the guy who does the voice of Darth Maul in the animated series. His insult is Slimo, which is a slang for slime ball. That actually was first referenced in Phantom Menace when Anakin, as a little kid, calls someone Slimo. So when he was a little cursing kid. And also mentioned the Ray Harryhausen type beast towards the end. That beast has 4 arms. It almost seems it's also an homage possibly to John Carter from Mars, because the aliens had that many arms in that. So anyway, those are a lot of the Easter eggs that I came across looking through. So those are Easter eggs.
Well, Mos Espa, isn't Mos Espa where Anakin was raised?
Yes, so that whole city, which which makes you wonder if we're going to run into Watto, if we're going to run into pod racing, if we're going to run into any of these specific things. I mean, it opens up so many different doors to the prequels, and the original trilogy, or even the sequels. So so it'd be interesting to see what else they're going to do in this sort of sand-ridden part of this planet. So it's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of, and also, I mean, there's like a million other. I mean, also when Boba comes out of the sand, you actually see the barge destroyed in the background.
Yes, you do.
And you see parts of the Sarlacc, almost like one of the things that got cut off when they were trying to help when Han Solo and then were trying to help what's his name, who was blinded.
Han.
Not Han.
No.
Lando.
Lando, yeah.
Well, Lando was, Han was blinded, and Lando was, he had the Sarlacc around his leg.
Yeah, when they shot, I think they shot one of the things, but anyway, part of the tendrils or whatever. Although they didn't show the beak, so they're trying to make sure we don't see any of the stuff from the original trilogy. They sort of, added extra CGI to. So
no beak.
We didn't go that far. Although many people are questioning why there was a stormtrooper inside of the Sarlacc, but
didn't
also
they say at one point you'll slowly be digested over hundreds of years or something?
C-3PO says in Return of the Jedi you'll be slowly digested for thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
And so there's no that maybe that was one of the guys that was looking for burned
C-3PO and R2-D2,
or maybe the ones that burnt Aunt Beru and them when they had their search. Also, was that a clone? So that could be one of his clone people he created as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, it could be one
a clone. He had to use a clone brother's help to get out. Yeah. That would be very poetic. That's very George Lucas.
Also, when he's stuck in there, you can hear a little bit of the sound of the actual Sarlacc that they used from the original.
Oh, nice. Speaking of Lucas,
sounded gross.
See, speaking of Lucas poetic, we'll end it here. I guess the Boba Fett kills the six-legged thing in the same way that Leia killed.
Yeah,
I thought I wrote that down. Yeah, he uses a chain in the same way he kills Jabba.
Awesome.
So I thought I wrote that down, but I missed it. There's a million of them, but yeah,
that was gross too.
Finish him.
Very poetry. I like this sort of ymiguana eyes.
Yeah, it was cool.
It reminded me of the monster from 50 Million Miles to Earth.
That too, yeah.
Ymir. But I think that's what I'm thinking of the movie. But.
Well, and also for me, and as a former improviser, Dave Pasquesi, he's the one that the Twilight that comes in, who's working for like the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a well-known improviser from Chicago. He's known for this well-known improv group called TJ and Dave.
Oh, wow.
Who I've seen perform, actually came to Raleigh one time and performed, and I saw them in Chicago. They're an amazing improviser. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, cool. Somebody, I mean, it's like, like that, I always say like the Kevin Bacon, 1 degree.
Yeah.
I'm 1 degree or from Star Wars.
Right.
Nice.
You're close.
Nice.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Pretty cool.
All right. Well, we also have a full review of the Book of Boba Fett. It's we'll have a link down below. And of course, Christopher G. Moore, you're going to be doing this with each episode. And then we'll see about the movies. We got what the most anticipated for 2022 coming up in the coming weeks. And we'll Easter eggs all the way, baby, all the way to 2022. And Christopher will be leading the way. So this is going to be very exciting. So thank you all for joining us. And of course, thank you, Christopher, for providing our Easter eggs, and Chad and Vanessa for joining us as well. Oh man, thank you.
Thank you. And also,
thank you.
Check out our full review where we go into a little more depth about our feelings about this first episode.
Yes, I have feelings.
Feelings. Feelings.
The force is strong.
Reach out with your feelings. All right, let's say good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.